Welcome to Horror Movies and Beyond. I'm your host, Ivotres Littles, and this is Shudder, where we go behind the screens of Shudder original and exclusive movies. Today, I have a really awesome special guest. She's a horror content creator and YouTuber. Let's welcome Nuggs, the final girl. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
How you been?
I have been good. I am really looking forward to talking about this movie because it definitely, when I first saw it, it really piqued my interest.
Yeah, this movie was wild. Like, what movie are you talking about? So it's Shudder Original Movie, The Advent Calendar, and it is a French-German film with a tad of English in there here and there. Before we get into that, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Like you said, I'm a horror content creator. I live stream video games on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube, like all simultaneously. And I make YouTube videos and just a bunch of horror stuff.
Well, hey, that's good enough, right? you summed it up right then and there. Very simple to the point. Not seen the film, go check it out, come back, or just stay a while because there will be spoilers, but not enough that it will, like, oh my gosh,
Ruin the movie.
Spoil it for me. But well, we'll talk about it just right. It's about a girl named Eva who's a paraplegic. On her birthday, her friend Sophie decides to give her an advent calendar. And it's not your traditional one. It escalates from, oh, okay, this is so sweet, to like, oh my gosh, what's going on?
That, just the look of the advent calendar, I was like, what is she gifting her? Because that thing is a sketchy box.
Sketchy is not, it was Etch-a-Sketch sketchy. I mean, that's that I was like, okay, I wouldn't have no. But as they were looking at it, it has something written on the back, and it was, see, if I can't read it, I wouldn't play with it, because
exactly. If I don't know what it means, I'm not going to say it, because if I say it, then I don't know what's going to happen. I could summon Satan or something. I don't need that.
Well, according to this thing, it was a lot worse than that. So she gives it to her, and like you said, she's a paraplegic, so I guess she was a dancer at one point. You know, they show pictures here and there, but then they decide to, you know, take the little key and open it. But the first candy, okay, the first candy alone said, when she read on the package, because she couldn't read it because it was in German, right?
Yeah, and she had her friend read it.
Yeah, and it was like, the first thing was rule. Did it say rule 1?
Rule 1, yeah.
Yeah, right then and there, I would have, no.
Yeah, this is like, there were so many red flags. I guess horror doesn't exist in this universe, because I feel like any one of us would have been like, okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, and she still ate it.
I know.
Even after, and she told her the rules. Did I write down the rules?
So, like, the first one is to, like, obey all the rules. Rule 2 is, if you dump it, you die. If you eat the candy, you have to eat all of them.
All. Yeah. No, That's been it.
I wouldn't eat the candy. You don't have to eat the candy to continue. You just don't get to eat any of the candy.
Yeah.
So she could,
and popped it in her mouth, and
she didn't have to do it.
So day 1, it starts, I guess the Advent calendar starts on day 3, because it just goes to straight to 24. That's on there. It said day 3, but she started day 1, day 2, day 3.
I think it had been 3 days
prior.
Yeah.
So it was December 3rd. So she was like, oh, let me open 1, 2, and 3. And she tried to open 4 to cheat, and it wouldn't let her. So right then, I was like, okay, no.
Exactly.
So one of the candies, which is very important, was a candy that her dad
Mhm.
It was his favorite candy, and she thought that was strange. Like, how would this, calendar would have that? And she put it to the side.
You also wanna know what's gonna happen, because there's
Yeah,
generally, like, a candy and, like, a event.
you just
Yeah.
ate a candy. Nothing really happens. I guess it was winding up for what was going to
What?
happen. But
Yeah.
when that box start talking,
I'm outta there. That thing is in a wood chipper. I could not believe when it started talking. I was like, "That this is the worst."
but then if you dump it, that's it.
I die. I is it worth it? Uh,
So it's like, what do you do? You just keep going, girl. You just keep going.
you have to.
So, her friend Sophie and Eva, they went to a party, right?
Like
They went to some
a
kind of party,
bar,
a
a get
bar.
together.
You have people taking advantage of her or talking bad about her, or even not even talking, just like when she was trying to scoot to the back where everybody was and they kind of like forgot about her.
Yeah,
Like,
she
hey,
just kept walking. I was like, "Is that?" Because like, I don't know too many, like, non-able-bodied people, so I don't know if, like, they prefer I guess it would be on a, like, person-to-person basis, but I didn't know if that was, like, okay that she didn't, like, push her, or, like, help her get through the crowd. So I was like, I'm really glad that this movie had that in that because, one, I feel like it brings the discussion of, like, able-bodied and non-able-bodied people into, I don't know, the home, but it also made me ask questions and, like, look at myself, I guess, and, like, how I would act in that situation. So I thought that was neat. But I couldn't believe her
mhm.
friend just, like, freaking left her because I wouldn't do that. I would try and, like,
I know
walk
I
next
could.
to them.
Yeah, or push her there,
Yeah.
or I just couldn't do that. But that lets you know what kind of friend she is. Then her job. I
Oh
mean,
my gosh, yes.
that boss was he was just too much.
He was for one, I was like, "You can't say that, my dude, like, this is totally not cool." He was basically like, "I only keep you here for, like, the grant money."
Not only that, then you had, I guess she was falling behind or she was doing her job, but it wasn't to their liking.
Yeah.
And so as a result, he got like her, not an assistant, but like someone to take over
Yeah.
cases,
Like a
like
helper.
yeah. And she was just like, oh, I don't know how you can work that way. And she was like, what way? Like the way you are. I was like, what does that mean? She's supposed to like, off herself because she can't walk. I mean, it was so much disrespect in this
Mhm.
film and just so much uneasy. And then you have the weird stuff as she's eating or opening the doors of that
Yeah.
calendar box. Because I thought it was one of those boxes you can open at any time. No,
Mhm.
at midnight on the top, it was called ick on the back of
Eesh.
it. Or ish. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
This whole tile's like ick. Well, it looked like one
It
too,
it
but
makes me
ish.
wanna
Oh my
ick.
goodness. Well, you could tell my language barrier
Oh,
not working. Um, yeah, and I noticed that thing was changing as it pops up.
mhm.
But when it was calling her, she had to open it and then some weird stuff. Out of all of the times, because we can't go through all
Every
30.
single
I mean,
yeah.
it'd take us about 2 hours. Uh what was like the most like disturbing day she opened
Oh,
that
man.
really caught your attention? Because I have a few of them that was
Um,
pretty messed up
I
without
really
going to the end, because then
yeah. Um, I really thought it was creative of the, like, stock trader guy, where the dog was, like, eating the car, and it was happening to his car, because the dog had, like, a toy car that
Mhm.
popped out of the advent calendar, and so the dog's playing with it, but in real life, it's a stocks person. Sorry, I probably shouldn't say that. A very rude awful gentleman that tried to do things to her. So I'm glad it got, you know,
Trying, girl, he did
yeah, yeah, he
that.
did.
I didn't think they were gonna show
I didn't either.
that.
So yeah, trigger warning when you watch
Yeah,
this. There could be
and remember, she's
things.
paralyzed
Yeah,
from the waist down, so she didn't know. She's just asleep, and he
that
is
is
just.
that is the messed up part. Well, I mean, it's all messed up, but like that part, I was like, that's like way worse.
Yeah, that was way worse. And then so when the dog started chewing on that car, I was like, yes,
Yeah,
he deserved it. He got
most
messed up.
most of them that are no longer in the movie, I was like, yeah, finally. Like you all were. Sorry. Oh my gosh, I have such a potty mouth.
It's okay as long as YouTube don't get me.
Right?
Well, I
Worse.
doubt they do. I've seen worse and heard worse on there.
Same.
They better not.
If they do, I'm coming for them. I'm gonna get them.
For me, I would have the one that I laughed. It was messed up, but I laughed. Was when she got the little doll.
Oh yeah.
She opened it up in the car, and she was gonna put it down, but the thing came and was gonna choke her out.
Yeah.
So that was one thing I noticed. Like, it doesn't matter who tries to destroy the box, you get infected. It's not like they throw it away and it magically appears back in her house. No,
Yeah.
it kills whoever gets rid of it, and then or opens it. So it's just not to the same person. However, it kind of is, because she
Yeah.
has to continue. That's different than most curses or whatever movies I've watched.
Yeah.
How it
With
just
this one,
affects. Yeah.
at first I was like, what are the rules? Because everything like being a cursed object or something, they generally have rules that they follow. And this one kind of I don't think it necessarily broke its own rules, but it felt like it was like, oh, I'm gonna move the goalpost a little bit to make the
Yeah.
story make sense, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Because I thought it was entirely her. So I got kind of confused a little bit about that. I was like, so who is in trouble if they do something? If they not
Exactly.
supposed to, if they don't fall? Yeah, that was the only thing. So, but other than that, it kept you intrigued because you
Oh,
wanted to know. Okay,
absolutely.
each day was subtle,
Yeah.
but the outcome, like,
It got crazier and crazier.
yeah, it did. Okay, so yeah, when she was finna throw it away and it was like sneaking up in the car, like, I'm finna get you, and she was like, and she picked it back up. She started snatching out the hair, and it was snatching out the assistant's hair.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought that was pretty messed up. Like, she just crumbled her up in the legs and started twisting. So it was a voodoo doll.
Yeah.
I was laughing because she deserved it,
Hmm.
but they didn't show it all. I kind of wish they would have showed a lot
Showed.
more of the broken bones and
Yeah. I wanted to get that like really like a I guess abrasive like gore factor. Not that I'm a huge like gore person in my horror movies. Like for me, gore in a horror movie has to make sense with the story and not its only purpose is like just to show gore. But like this one, I wished like you said, I wanted to see a little bit more of the bones breaking. I wanted to see maybe some blood splurting out.
but from what we could hear, we knew those bones was definitely breaking.
Sh- she got, you know, she got hurt. She got messed up.
um the one that was unexpected was the Viagra pill.
Oh my gosh, that one is my favorite one. That one, I was so shocked when that came on screen. I
It
was
didn't
like,
look like it too. Like, it looked like a
yeah,
little wee wee.
it was it was so shockingly good, but so stupid, but so smart at the same time. I was like, I cannot believe in the best way that this is happening.
So do you think each box changes who's ever around the box.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
what would Eva, because she's a paraplegic, she didn't have a man.
Yeah.
What would she need that pill for? Where her friend was at the house when it was time to open the box, and
Mhm.
she opened it, and
That little Viagra pill.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I think
okay.
I feel like because it's called Ish or Ish,
Mm-hmm.
Ish. That the box, like, no, it's like the person that opens the box now like somehow knows everything about that person, and so maybe it knew that there was like the bad blood or whatever between the two ladies, and so it like customizes
As
it
it goes.
as it goes for who's around.
Because wasn't that the guy that Eva liked?
Yeah. And that's the one that Eva was like, "Oh, he wants to get drinks now?" Like, she's telling me because that's for me. And she's like, "No, he's going to have drinks with me." Because it was that guy.
See, so you kind of was like, okay, I'm for the friend, but then you're kind of like, whatever.
I got
And
in
I
on a
was
good
like,
friend.
it's kind of like Wishmaster. Like you make a wish,
Yes.
but it's like it's like the worst outcome that could come out of it. So it was like each one of those, you think it was like, okay, what's the
Exactly.
worst that can happen? So when she took that little candy or gum or
Mhm.
whatever and placed it in his mouth, talking about, oh, I got a Viagra pill. I was the first thing I was thinking, like, oh, it's either she's gonna get messed up in the worst way, or he's
Mhm.
gonna have like a boner like no other.
An explosion. Just, oh my gosh.
And I kind of wish he had the boner part, because she was getting messed up in that room, and
Yeah.
he came out just looking just like a monster.
Yeah. I wanted more boner action. I guess.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. uh but believe me, it's okay. I've heard worse and said worse, so
Yeah, but I'm being interviewed and like we're having this
uh
discussion and
we're adults, right? We're all adults.
that's right.
Like I said, believe me, I've seen, this is for educational purposes.
Exactly.
YouTube. The don't flag. We telling people, be careful with those
Exactly.
things.
Don't take too much, and if it lasts longer than 6 hours, you need to call your physician or go to the ER.
Or if you get it out of a calendar.
Yeah,
Don't.
exactly. Don't. Make sure you know
Okay.
where it's ethically sourced.
There was something interesting. I mean, this one it's okay, we're putting it as a fun horror movie, but it's really like, I don't
It's
know.
bleak.
Yeah, it's very bleak, but we're trying to put some comedy into it. So
Exactly.
um also there was one thing I would have to say, but I'm afraid it's gonna give it away. Okay,
Mm,
remember when she peeled back on the box and found the painting,
yes.
and then she went to the person that put the painting in there, and he
Mhm.
was blind.
Yeah.
And I was like, how did he do that? But then that goes back to something she said, because he was like, uh why would I paint them dead? And she said, because they were dead then, it's a message for the next one. You have to sacrifice them. And I was like, does that make sense? So if you watch the end,
Mhm.
or close to the end, with the guy, I think his name is
Oh,
I don't know. It was named William, or was that the other guy she put the little thing in there? The little heart
um,
thing to be his friend. Yeah, that
yeah.
guy. Yeah, that wasn't William. So that was the guy that she found a heart and put it in his drink, and then he was like madly in love with her.
Yeah, it was a love potion.
Hmm. And also we can't forget that each one of there were, I think, 2 or 3 times where the candy helped her move her legs.
Walk.
Yeah, but the sacrifices she had to do up to that point was just wild.
Wild. It really makes you think, like, how would I react, like, in this situation? Because, like, some of those people were not awesome. And it's like,
Hmm.
I can totally sympathize with everything that she's doing.
Even like, was it her stepmother or her mother?
Yeah.
'Cause that was her
Her
stepmom.
stepmom.
I knew when I saw the hair, she was nothing but trouble.
Mm.
That hair was flipped.
Fräulein was like, she just
I mean, that hairstyle was slick, but you could tell she was so um
uppity.
snooty
Yeah.
and just rude.
She
I was like, I did not feel bad for her.
No, and I love that she was just like, nah, bye-bye.
I know your dad's in there dying of Alzheimer's, and
Yeah.
we're gonna sell the house, and we don't care how you feel.
She was
But
awful.
she was awful. So, is there any other day that happened that really just got to you?
Mm.
The other one was she took that the candy, the one where oh my gosh, it's
You can do it.
oh my gosh, the candy where the time, it was a clock.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
she slept for 4 days. I was like, I wish I could sleep like that.
I know. Can I get that one? Can I have like 30 clock candies so I can take one like every other month? Sleep for
I
4
feel
days
so bad.
straight.
Yeah, she lost her job and
Well, that part's not good. If I could do without not losing the job, I would take that.
How do you feel about this movie? I mean, it was really good. It was very engaging,
It definitely
but I got confused just a little bit. Like, and then I caught on.
yeah,
What
this
about you?
movie, because I think there is that language barrier and it is you have to read subtitles with it. There is like somewhat of like lost in translation between having to look at the subtitles and then actually seeing what's happening on the screen. Um but this movie is really good. It keeps you interested throughout the whole thing because you do want to see what the next day or the next door box, whatever you want to call it, opens up. And then you want to see how far she will go, and if she will follow through with the whole advent calendar. But it is bleak. I mean, the jump scares, there aren't like your traditional jump scares in it, which I really liked. I would put it more on par with like The Strangers, when they're just kind of like there in the movie. But other than being a little confused with the rules of the advent calendar, I think this is a really good submission into like the holiday horror pantheon, I guess.
Yeah. I would have to agree with you. I mean, from the get-go, it, it was like, okay, the red flags, I get it. But there were points where I had to pause it and go back and reread what they were saying in the English subtitles and then go back and watch it. So I have to do that a few times, and I rarely have to do that in
Like
foreign films. I rarely do. If I think this is like the first time, not saying it was bad, it was just there was stuff going on. I think it was a lot more going on screen than what was being said. So when it said it, you had to, okay, what? Because when at the end, when he was explaining when she was finna take the last bite, and he ran and said, wait, the rules. And you got to respect the rules until you open the last one. And the word until was important. And then I had to rewind it to see what he was doing because I was too busy
Yeah,
reading.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
it didn't take away from the film. It was just I noticed I
it
had to
made
do
it
that a few times.
it made it more of a, I guess, hassle to watch it if you want to like really get everything that it's like trying to throw at you. Um, but like, I mean, it was still very good. But yeah, it was a little frustrating to be as interactive with this movie as as we had to be.
Yeah. So the end. Would
Hmm.
you have taken the last bite, or because I think that's what happened to the blind man. He didn't pay attention because he said if you take the last bite, you wake up from where you were
Exactly.
and have to start all over again. But the box is
Is
gone.
free.
So yeah, so I think that's how he got back to what he was. That's my theory. But if
Yeah.
you're standing there and you went through
I
all that stuff, would you do it? Or would you just be able to leave like whatever life? You have like a gazillion people on Twitch, a gazillion
yeah,
people on
exactly.
YouTube. Like because you did all these things, but the sacrifice of what you had to go through, losing friends, literally,
Yeah.
sacrificing people, sacrificing your integrity, and then you're sitting there with that little candy.
Um,
Uh,
I don't know. That's really hard because the ending like is a little bit ambiguous, I guess. If it were me and if I didn't know of the like until part, I would um, I wouldn't do it. I would not eat it. I would not.
girl, me either.
I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, was that really the lesson that I needed to learn? No. They were rude, and I'm not gonna go back to being, in this case, paraplegic.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
no.
Nope.
I did
Mm-mm.
all of that for my goal, the thing that I want.
Yeah.
And
Mm-mm.
I'm glad you
Nope.
wouldn't. Okay, now I don't feel so bad.
Nope. Because when I was watching it, she had it in her hand. I was like, "Girl, throw it away." He done
Chuck it.
told you and explained it, and he even threw the box away.
Yeah.
And he was still there. I
Exactly.
would have chucked that doggone candy right off the roof and lived my life and danced. Like,
Exactly. Yeah, because she
what's the
was an
point?
accomplished dancer.
Mm-hmm.
Good for her. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
glad she
yeah.
didn't eat
It
it.
was a good ending. It was a good
Yeah.
ending. But then, well, obviously she didn't because we see the guy with the baby.
Yes. Yep.
So, or maybe
Or
because he went to her house and she was still in that house and the door opened. So it left you.
that's right. Yeah. Very like, did she actually take it? Did she not?
Oh, I hope she didn't. I would be
I
so mad.
right. Because you're along with her for this journey. You're like, yes, like some of these kills are so good, like good for you. And then like you're gonna eat that thing? Not worth it.
No. Then you have to deal with your stepmom and your
Yeah,
trifling friend. Nah,
exactly.
and then that disgusting
Oh,
man. Ugh, yeah, girl, let it go.
exactly.
I turn into Frozen real fast.
Let it go. Let it go.
Pay
Yes.
attention. It's not a film that you could just be cleaning and doing whatever. No, you really have to sit there
And pay
and look at
attention.
it. You really do.
This is your
Pause it
homework.
if you have to.
Exactly. I need a 10-page book report when you are done
Mhm.
watching this film. But no, I
So,
think it's good to I think this is actually a good one to watch with other people that appreciate movies like this. Um,
mhm,
because I don't think that like you and your buddies talking about the movie would ruin the movie. I almost feel like it would enhance it because then
mhm.
everyone's kind of on the same page. You got like multiple eyes on the screen.
So I want to say thank you so much, Nuggs. This was so fun
This was
and
a
very
blast.
adult-like. Very
Yes.
adult.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
So where can once again where can people find you?
So you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube under Nuggs the Final Girl. And yeah, I stream video games every Wednesday and Thursday, and then sometimes on the weekends.
Like I said, thank you so much for joining me on Shudderwary. And if you guys like more videos like this, make sure you like, subscribe, and don't forget to leave a comment. And please follow Nuggs the Final Girl. She's amazing, awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. And you guys out there, until next time, bye.
Bye.